Right now, though, I do have somebody on the line, and I'm looking forward to talking to him, but I'd like to give you guys a little introduction first before I just put him right on the phone. He's a multidisciplinary artist, staple from the Chicago poetry/performance art and underground improvisation music scenes. That's a lot to say. Getting his start in the poetry scene of the 1980s, Sid Yiddish combines his love for poetry, improvisation, and performance in he formed an experimental jazz bands that are really awesome, like experimental jazz poetry. It does blend his raw words, his spontaneous theatrics and humor. He also collaborated with Denmark-based Clean Boys. The Clean Boys did some awesome recordings that I really like, a three-piece punk band out of Denmark. In 2010, he formed Sid Yiddish and his Candy Store Henchmen. He walks in parades and, his costume characters, and even plays Santa Claus. Yeah. He is a mixed media artist for sure. In recent years, he morphed into an actor, and Sid Yiddish has appeared in video projects with Ludacris, William H. Macy, Bruce Willis, and television shows like Empire, Shameless, TMZ, and America's Got Talent a couple times, I believe. And he continues to do throat singing, writes plays, poems, and short prose, and I'm glad he's going to be here because he's an interesting person. Sid Yiddish, welcome to the Church of Rock.
Well, hello there, Rabbi Mess. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm glad to have you here, dude.
Glad to be here.
I want to tell the folks about how we kind of ran into each other a couple months ago in Davenport, Iowa. I was walking down the sidewalk, and me and my friend Chuck Murphy, we're walking around videotaping stuff, having fun. Yeah. And then there was a guy in a window, and he looked a lot like Sid Yiddish, and the drummer had like a clown face paint on, and they were doing some trippy stuff, and we were kind of gagging, like, what's going on? And after about 10 minutes of looking at what looked like the opposite of a religious experience, I told my daughter, I think that's Sid Yiddish. And then so she walks inside right as Sid Yiddish is walking out saying, hey, is that Bloody Mess? And that was pretty wild. That was trippy.
Yeah, that sure was. That sure was. It's kind of like being in a goldfish bowl and everybody gets to watch it.
Yeah, that was cool. Do you live in Davenport, man?
No, I live in Evanston, Illinois.
Okay. I was wondering about that.
Outside of Chicago. Nope. I just was there, just happened to be there performing, but I go where the gig is.
So was that your band or just people that you knew from Davenport you collabed with?
Actually, the guy in the clown makeup, he lives in Moline, Rock Island, and the other guy I think lives in Rock Island. But I know the folks who have the bar. They live in Davenport.
Okay, cool.
So
how long was your performance in Davenport that night?
Oh, jeez. I think about 43 minutes, I think.
Nice. So I got to ask you about America's Got Talent. You were on season 6 doing throat singing. You did a song called Michael Board.
Weasel Squeezer.
Michael Board, Weasel Squeezer. Of course, those of old punk rockers know Michael from Maximum Rock and Roll and Artless. And you did perform. I saw the video on YouTube. Of course, you were also imitating the voice of a female deer, right?
Yes, I was. That was so awful.
So Sharon Osbourne's up there, Piers Morgan, and Howie Mandel. They all buzz you, thereby eliminating you from the competition. But how was the experience?
The experience was awesome. Actually, it was Sharon Osbourne who was freaking out when she saw me. Howie Mandel was the only person I think who really liked me. Piers Morgan, not so much. But we all know his reputation, so not so good.
Sharon just kind of freaked out over your overall appearance?
She did. She's Jewish. Her maiden name is Levy. And she saw my costume. She did not say a word to me. Not a word.
Oy vey.
Yeah, oy vey. Well, Howie Mandel called me the Hasidic Lone Ranger. And also behind the scenes, which you didn't see on the show, was when Howie Mandel said to Piers Morgan, you realize if you say no to him, you're going to be saying no to all the Jews in the world.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah.
was really a great time. It was really a great time. It exposed me probably more than I ever thought I would ever get to be exposed. So,
And then didn't you audition again with the band for season 8 as well?
yeah, yes, I did. I went with a unit of my candy store henchmen, and I knew from the get-go that we would not last 45 seconds, and I was darn right, because they all ex-aced. All of them ex.
So where was that at? Los Angeles?
No, that was in Chicago at the Rosemont Theater. The first one was in Minneapolis at the Orpheum
Okay.
Theater.
What a trip, man. I wanted to ask you this. You were coming from the Chicago old school poetry scene, like in the 80s. Did you ever know or meet Brian Douglas Clemens?
I knew who he was, but never met him. No.
Okay, yeah, he was an old friend of mine, and got pretty wild, man. But yeah, just wondered if you'd known that cat or not. I do dig your 2 studio albums, by the way. Great stuff. It's enjoyable stuff that I was listening to on YouTube, and the links you sent me, man. Great stuff.
Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun when we made them. It was wild. It was crazy. I think the worst of it was on the first one, 2 of the guys that came in from Rock Island, Moline, they took off with my suitcase, and there was a couple Furbies inside, and I kind of freaked out because I need the Furbies. They're attached to my left and my right nipples, so like a mama, So I had to call them back, and they returned it right away.
All's
returned it right away.
All's well that ends well.
That's right.
How did you come up with the name Sid Yiddish, and when did you start going by that name publicly?
Publicly, I came up with Sid Yiddish because there's a band out of Madison called Yidvicious. And I figured if they could be Yidvicious, I could be Sid Yiddish. Sid is my middle name, and I say Yiddish because I'm a Yiddle, or I'm a Yid, which means I'm Jewish. I went public with Sid Yiddish June 4, 2004. It was the day that Reagan died, and I was at a poetry reading in Arlington Heights, Illinois, and I wanted to come up with something, so I came up with this game called Pin the Quote in Reagan's Mouth. The prize was a bumper sticker, authentic Reagan bumper sticker. I got kicked out of the venue, banned from the venue. That night it became Sid Yiddish.
Wow, congratulations on that and that achievement of getting kicked out.
Well, thank you. It doesn't happen often, but when I get hecklers, I kiss them and hug them all the same.
Totally, man. I get it. I wanted to ask you a couple. Who are some of your favorite poets, just off the top of your head?
Emily Dickinson. I like Bob Dylan lyrics. Woody Guthrie. I'm a big fan of Robert Creeley. If we're talking about local poets in Chicago area, I like Wesley Hine. He's a great poet, a good friend too, but he's a great poet. I guess I like, I don't know, off the top of my head. I like Beatles lyrics too. I'm a bit biased on that stuff. But I like most rock and roll folks that write lyrics, and I listen to everything and anything, really.
Nice, man. Speaking of Reagan, and not trying to be mean or facetious to anyone out there or disrespectful even, but speaking of Reagan, did you ever check out the YouTube channel belonging to John Hinckley Jr.?
Yes, I did, actually. I was interviewed for another podcast. I can't recall the name, but they saw a comment that I left on Hinckley's YouTube page, I think it was. And so they decided to contact me and talk to me about that. But yeah, he plays great music, despite what he did. What's weird is that there's a lot of people that, they judge someone because of something they did. The same thing with Bill Cosby and Gigi Allen is another one. Even Ralph Harris, they all made great music, great work, but then what they did is they consider that the downfall. That's just human. That's just humans interacting. That's all it is.
Good point, man. I see exactly what you mean by that too, man. Yeah, I get it. What's coming up in the future for Sid Yiddish? You got any new recordings? Got any gigs coming up? Or any TV appearances or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, we will. I'm doing a solo gig at the PDM in Columbia, Missouri. Show Friday, July 18th. I just posted my 665th video on YouTube, my YouTube page. We just had a show on Thursday at WCRD in Chicago. That is my home residency. I play there 3 times a year. Usually summer solstice, what we call winter solstice, and Valentine's Day started this year. We'll have something in December. I got details for a gig, but I don't quite know the name of the event yet. But it'll be July 26th in Chicago in Lincoln Square. That's all I can tell you right now.
So if people want to find Sid Yiddish, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, they can go to my YouTube page, which is, of course, www.youtube.com/Sid Yiddish. You can see a mess of things. Besides my band stuff, my solo stuff, there's a lot of weird stuff on that page. A ton of stuff. Also, my website, sidyiddish.com. Facebook, Instagram, I guess all the usual things that people go to search for. You can Google me, because I'm very Googleable.
Yeah, man. And also, thanks to Jason Covelli, who did a cool poster for the talk tonight. That was really neat to see on YouTube or on Facebook and stuff. And Sid, I hope we can get together and share the stage sometime. We've talked about doing that, and maybe we can meet up again down the road, man.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I would absolutely love to do that. And I wanted to thank you for putting me on your show this evening.
Oh, my pleasure, my friend. Absolutely. I want to actually follow this interview with one of your recordings. I want to play something. You sent me a lot of stuff to choose from, and I appreciate that, dude. The one I'm going to play is from the Candy Store Henchman album. I think it's Every Day is Sunday album, correct?
It's called Until Further Notice, Every Day Feels Like Sunday.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, corrected. I stand corrected. But the track we're going to play is called Flight of the Satanic Dutch Squirrel.
No, not Dutch. Everybody gets that wrong. It's Danish.
Danish, like a Danish.
Noted.
Yeah, well, there's no such thing as a Danish, but don't even get me started about that stuff.
No problem, dude. Well, it's a cool track. I like it a lot. The Flight of the Satanic Danish Squirrel by Sid Yiddish and his Candy Store Henchmen. Sid, it's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on, Rabbi Moody.
My pleasure. Talk to you down the road, mate.
All right. See ya.
All right. Cheers. Okay. We're going to do it, you guys. Now sit back and pretend like you're, listening to like any, decent radio show like Dr. Demento, who's retiring. Shout out to Dr. Demento. All right, Sister Tracy, I guess we're ready to rock whenever you are.
Okay. Flight of the Satanic Danish Squirrel. Here we go. On KSKQ in the Church of Rock.
Yeah.
Well, hello there, Miss Squirrel.
Well, hello there, Sid.
Miss Squirrel? Why are you looking at me like that? Huh?
Well, when I figure it out, I'll tell you.
bite me, Miss Squirrel. Why?
Well, you look like a nut, Sid, and you taste like one, too.
Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do, Miss Squirrel, but I only got one choice left. I guess I'm just gonna have to kill you!
Please don't kill me! No! 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 No!